So, Andrew, what are we talking about today?
Well, so just so the listeners or viewers know, literally you've just turned the camera on and we've hardly said hello to each other. So hello folks, hi, it's everyone.
We haven't done the introduction.
Yeah, we should start more officially, Andrew.
Idiots go running from Mason to Berlin. What's the worst that could possibly happen? It's season 4. Let's go!
The countdown is on. As the team gets closer to the big adventure, we ask, what actually goes into building an event like this? Crew? Accommodation? Sponsors? Merch? Panic? Spreadsheets? And one idiot pretending he's a race director. So let's ask the team how you build an adventure without losing the plot.
So, Andrew, what are we talking about today?
Well, so just so the listeners or viewers know, literally you've just turned the camera on and we've hardly said hello to each other. So hello folks, hi, it's everyone.
We haven't done the introduction.
Yeah, we should start more officially, Andrew. So today on Idiots Go Running, we're now in episode 98 of Idiots Go Running. 98, 2 more, and then we'll hit the big 100, and then lights out, game over. Well, I think, Andrew, that's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Definitely not. There'll be plenty more yet. So what are we talking about today? We've no idea. We didn't even discuss it. You didn't give us time. But I think we should talk about the run and the logistics of the run and what goes into a run like this. So I was half thinking about this. So Matt, you were the one that said this run the length of Ireland, and it's easy to say this run the length of Ireland, but so much has gone into the background of this so far, and the viewers, the listeners, you don't really know. So who wants to kind of talk about what goes into just from an idea, saying something, to actually doing it? Because you just don't turn up and do it. There has been a bit of planning gone into this.
Esther? Just kidding. Now look, I think we can get into that. Before we do, though, and Colin, I don't know if you've already recorded your Chasing Nick episode, but I mean, we've got to talk about Belfast Marathon. Just happened, and that was a big thing for at least 2 people in this podcast. So, guys, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, yeah. So Belfast Marathon was last Sunday, and yeah, absolutely. Like the weather conditions were good. It was cool, overcast. Nobody could have any complaints there. And it was a really, really just a great day in terms of crowd and participation. I think that marathon gets better and better and better. And from my perspective, as a 3-hour pacer, it went pretty well. But what I discovered was that, especially because I'm not the tallest individual, is that when you're running with a big group of people behind you, you actually can't see anyone that isn't immediately behind you. So I at no point had any real sense of how big a group of people we had behind us. And more importantly, I had no idea where Colin was or what had happened or what was going on until the end. And I saw his wife at the finish. And then I got some information. So I'll let Colin tell the story.
Belfast Marathon, it was a great day for some people, Nick. For some people, it was not so great. Where do you start? I got down early. I got down on time. Everything was going to plan. And then the toilets were just bunged. Like, I mean, the people don't form an orderly queue. Like, so how do you get to the toilets when people don't form an orderly queue? So I had to abandon the toilet. Do you remember we said, Nick, all the stars need to align for me to get anywhere close? Yeah, there is a very cloudy sky, but we'll get on to that in the Chasing Nick episode. Didn't go to plan, but hey, here it is what it is, and we'll
like
swiftly
like
move
this
on.
is all doom you sound like it was all doom and gloom. I don't think you hit your target, but you got a pretty darn good time though, and you finished it. People's wondering, did he finish it? Did he collapse? Was he hospitalized? No, you finished it. You finished it in a good time, just
Andrew,
not hitting the
Andrew,
goal.
I know a guy that went for the target and he was running and the target then disappeared from him. So he ended up cutting a corner and finishing it, Andrew. Is that allowed? Or, oh, look at next face, look at next face. I'm not going to say who it is, but I know, I know someone who cut a corner. Do you know what?
What?
You know, if I thought my day was bad, there's people out in the track who had a worse day. There was ambulances, there was people cutting corners, but, you know, I suppose my day was okay. I just didn't hit my target, Andrew.
Yep.
I'm going to say that Colin made an incredibly mature decision, right? Because when you are going for a time in a marathon, you have to be all in. It's like you have to be able to put yourself in a hurt locker and not worry about the consequences. And actually, we always knew that this was the first piece in a puzzle that is, you know, far wider reaching than just a 3-hour marathon. So Colin, whilst, you know, started on pace and was in great shape, but there was going to be no point in absolutely killing himself to try and get 3 or close to 3, when actually this is a much bigger project. And so I think kudos and congratulations to anybody who's got the wherewithal to make that decision during the race, because, you know, there's a lot of pressure involved in terms of the podcast and all that stuff. So he could have really, you know, gone further, gone deeper, and ended up jeopardizing, you know, this whole length of Ireland run by trying to do 26.2 miles quicker than was sensible. So I don't think it was a terrible day at all. I think it was a good training run. Yes, he didn't hit a target, but he's learned a massive amount, and he's still in one piece for this, which is really all that mattered.
Right.
Yeah, that was my big fear going into this. You'd injure yourself in this or the 100 miler, because Ireland's you're 100% like Ireland's the main goal. You know, this is the appetizer. An appetizer is nice. It's no steak. You know what I mean?
So I do agree with Nick. I did make a decision. My first few miles out were very fast, but we'll get all onto this in chasing Nick. And it's a story of my life. I seem to learn stuff by failing. Like, and it's not failing by a wee bit, it's failing by a considerable bit. And, you know, you do learn a lot from failure. Nobody learns anything from success, Nick. So you don't learn anything anymore. And you know what? You know, you're just not learning anything. I'm learning loads. Like, the knowledge, my brain, my head is getting bigger, Nick. Unfortunately, the way you are, you're not learning very much. You're just complete success. Success.
The people I coach make sure I learn plenty all the time. It's fine.
Okay. So you're learning as a coach. So, yeah, Belfast Marathon. Let's move on to the Miz and the Malin. And Andrew said about that where there's been a lot of planning going in, and it happened when Matt, obviously, let's flip back. Matt, you rang me up and you said, let's run the length of Ireland and let's do it a year early. And I'll jump over to you, Matt. What were you thinking?
I mean, it's kind of one of those, when you're doing a big life decision, which I would consider this to be, if you wait for everything to be perfectly figured out, you'll probably never do it. So the only thing that I had figured out was, first and foremost, my awesome wife was the one that said, like, go do this. Like, this is the best time to do it. So check that box. Second, it was, can we like actually figure out being gone for that long? Like, yeah, I guess so. There's a lot of moving parts there, you know, between kids and pets and, travel and all of that. But yeah, we at least had a plan there. So that's about all that I had figured out as of the time of asking you, like, hey, do we want to do this? And since then, there's been a lot of pieces that have had to come together. And I cannot take a lot of credit for those pieces. I have to kick it back to Colin to talk about like routing and lodging and accommodations and the various support and, training. Obviously, we've talked about at length on this podcast, so we don't have to get into that. But, everything that goes into the logistics of the run itself, Colin has been like deep into that and everything that goes into it. And, so I'm gonna kick it back over to you.
It's like playing tennis. It's like playing verbal tennis. So it starts off with an idea. So to do something like this, as Matt said, he had the idea, and he basically, for me, when he told me, I thought, right, we were sitting in November, Matt, is that right?
August.
Yeah.
August. So the first thing you have to think is where we're going to stay. And it's a tricky one, but before you figure out where you've got to stay, you've got to figure out where you're going to be running through. And before you figure out where you're going to be running through, you got to figure out how many days you're going to do it in to break down that route. So you kind of do work back the way a wee bit. And I was a wee bit concerned in the beginning because once you hit January, everyone's booking their holidays. And when everyone books holidays, there's nowhere to stay. So we had to get a route sorted quickly. We had to contact hotels quickly before December. So when it hits the new year, the hotels have agreed. You might think December to June, that's loads of time. It's not loads of time because you hit January, hotels are booked up, then you're really scraping the barrel for places to stay. Never, let alone having your choice of cost of places to stay, because the less places there are, the more you're going to be paying. Andrew, any concerns whenever Matt said, let's move the year forward for you?
No, nothing. The biggest thing I was surprised at, Colin was straight away looking into this stuff. And like Matt, I can't say much. Colin, you really have done so much. Like every day, the amount of messages I get about this run. But even back in I think it was it September, you started looking in a booking place. And I was like, Colin, wait the new year. And you were like, no, we need to do it. And in hindsight, you're 100% right. But just the amount of work that's gone into this is just mind-boggling. So for anyone wanting to do this next year or another time or any big event, start early. You're right about the hotels. You're right about getting it, and even trying to get sponsors and get the word out, and just the gear, the merch. Just there's so many moving parts, and really we'll have to say, Colin, that's all down to you. We are not doing much, and you're rock and rolling it, you know.
Okay, so then after the hotels were all sorted, I'm just jumping in. Like, is this the Colin episode, guys? You've got to give me something.
No, what do you think? What do you think about, Nick, when you're going to plan a big event like this? Like, from your perspective, outside looking in from the outside, but you're in it. What do you think?
I think it's an absolute logistical nightmare because it's, running is hard enough, and there's all the tiredness and issues that are going to be coming around the actual distance that you're running without having to worry about the holiday thing, essentially, that you're tagging onto it. You know what it's like when you go on holiday with your family, and these are people that you kind of know, and there's no running involved, but still trying to move from one place to the next is kind of stressful, and knowing where somewhere is and getting to the hotel and all this stuff. Now, you're going to be having to do this whilst also having to run an ultra marathon every single day. I mean, I looked at it and thought, well, what did I really think?
Tell us.
I thought they're going to need to employ somebody to sort this out logistically, because it's going to take so much time and effort. But obviously, that would be a massively costly thing. So Colin, again, come up trumps and has just been nailing it. I mean, I don't want to know how many hours he has put in, but it must be significant. So I would say anybody who's doing it next year, contact Colin, and he will quite happily give you a start to finish plan for a mere £15,000. It'll be fine.
That's cheap too. That's cheap.
Oh, absolutely.
As long as I get to run it with them. So as we said, as long as I get the run. So as we said, we hit the first logistics was the hotels, getting hotels booked. So what do you do? Well, in this day and age, it's a beautiful thing. Chat, GPT, and AI. It helps draft emails. It helps find hotels in an area. So with the help of Google Maps, a picture, and an email, so we knew what our mileage was going to be every day. So I picked an area. So say the first day was 30 miles. You pick that area, you do a 5-mile radius, and then you zoom in on all the hotels. Now, hotels, accommodation, Airbnbs, you name it. The issue was the first day. It came down to the first day. It was the hardest one to get. So on the first day, what happens is we have to get to the starting line. The closest place to the starting line are these TP tents, and Andrew refused to stay in a TP tent for the first night.
Not the night before, Colin.
A little bit of a diva, Andrew, as far as sleeping is concerned.
I think sleeping the night before something like this, you want to get a good night's sleep. Let's start on the right foot, so to speak,
So that's when Andrew earned himself the nickname Ariande Goodman, because he is a bit of a diva. So we got an Airbnb, and she was brilliant. She gave us half price for the Airbnb. It accommodates all of us at this stage, plus a crewman. At this stage, we didn't have a crewman. We were just looking for a place.
No crew. Yep.
No crew. So we didn't know how we were getting to the Airbnb. We didn't know anything. It's like Wayne's World. As if you've seen Wayne's World, if you book them, they will come. So we booked them, and the crewmen.
That's Wayne's World 2, everybody. Just so we know. Wayne's World 2.
Is it Wayne's World 2?
Which is presumably just a rip-off of Field of Dreams.
Well, not quite, but yes, there are some Field of Dreams references. They do Wayne Stock, which is a Woodstock-style concert where they had no idea who they were going to get, and, they're making it up as they go, and I loved the movie, personally, but yes.
The movie was brilliant.
I mean, and I got to help you, Colin, because you said Wayne's World. It's Wayne's World 2.
Yeah. If we're nothing but we're factually correct in this podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got 11 days of this, Colin.
11 days.
Here, Nick. By the end of it, as long as we're not hallucinating and following a big fat Indian guy, big fat naked Indian guy, Matt, is that right?
Again, Wayne's World 2, I believe that's the reference to that, just in case people think
that is a Wayne's World 2 reference.
Just in case people think, where'd that come from?
So if you book them, they will come. So we got the first hotel sorted, or the first Airbnb, and the beauty about this Airbnb, it is 15 minutes from the starting line. My previous attempt, we were an hour and a half from the starting line. So now we literally have a short drive from the starting line. Then I started to just book the hotels as we go up. I think I contacted possibly in the region of over 300 places for accommodation, and we actually had people reaching out and giving us free nights, giving us half price, giving us a double room for free, so we maybe pick up the second room. And absolutely brilliant. People were willing to take us in once they heard the story, and they didn't even hear the whole story that Matt then continued to go and work on I would say the bolt-on 2-hour run. So the next thing, we had hotels.
And as you jump in, sorry, Colin, when you're sending these emails, we're not like begging as if, give us somewhere to stay, we're doing a run. It's just, you said what we're doing and more or less saying, is there any way you can help out? It wasn't asking for freebies or nothing like that. It was just, this is what we're doing it for. We're raising money. We're just not looking to get places for free. We're really wanting to,
Yeah, there was an element of begging on it, Andrew. You've got to beg. You've got to beg a wee bit. You can't. I've got no issue with begging, Andrew. We're doing something good. Support the goodness. So look at Andrew's face. Shut up, Colin. That's what you're thinking, isn't it?
No, in fairness, I was thinking, I said all that, and I didn't read a single email that you sent, so maybe it was begging, maybe it was constant begging, but that's not the way it came across to me, but maybe,
Do
maybe
you know
it
what?
was.
As you're saying that, I thought, oh wow, Colin must have sent Andrew the emails that he was putting out beforehand, because he seems to know the content of these emails quite well. Turns out he was just making it up on the spot.
There was a lot of prayer emojis. Just put it that way. After hotels, you're thinking, right? We know the route, we know the mileage every day, but we can't get anywhere. We can't get there. We can't get back. We need crewmen. So once again, I dipped into my list of people who I've met along runs, I've spoken to on 100-mile races, and once again, there was a fair bit of begging Andrew, but Andrew was able to get a brilliant first guy, a guy that's just, we need someone to take us from Belfast to Mizenhead, and that's a big journey, Andrew.
Via Dublin to pick up Matt too, so that is a big journey, and it's a big commitment. What's that, 7-hour, 8-hour drive maybe, and then it'll be a 7-hour, 8-hour drive back, so it's a big commitment for anyone having to take time off work. So my friend Dermot from work stepped up, and after a bit of begging, no emails, no ChatGPT, just pure me saying to him what the crack was, he checked with his partner and he agreed to do it. So we've got Dermot for the first 2 or 3 days, which is just magic to have the first crewman in place. That was such a big thing, Colin, such a big thing. Because it's a long way to Mizenhead.
It is a long way to Tipperary, and the sort of somewhere in Ireland down south, isn't it? So then, like, we need other crewmen. Andrew,
it's only about halfway there.
Yeah. I was about to say it's much further in Tipperary. I know there's a song, Wayne's World 3. That's well. Continue.
But so we need more than one crewman. So they need to switch over. So they're using their own vehicles for this, because if we had a crew vehicle, there's no logistical way to switch a guy to take a car. It just doesn't work. So they have to use their own vehicle. So these guys are actually stepping up and doing this. Second guy, I ran Belfast Marathon. We were saying Belfast Marathon, the segue back to the very beginning of the episode. Belfast Marathon's brilliant. And I ran, and the first time I attempted this, I was wearing this t-shirt saying, I'm running Mizenhead. And this guy, James, ran beside me and he goes, are you running Mizenhead? And I was like, I am indeed. And he goes, you're mad. And anyway, we went on and I seen him at the end. I caught him and I ran. He was walking, Nick. He was walking at a Belfast Marathon. He didn't cut corners. He was walking, and he was looking for a sub-4, and he wasn't getting it with the pace he was going up the Ormo Road. And I ran past him. I said, James, you're going to be beat by someone with MS. And he legged it. That's true. That's what I said. And both of us legged it. We got in 3:55 or something. I don't know. Can't remember exactly. It was sub-4. But he is coming to be our crewman. He has taken 5 days off work to just say, use me whatever way you is need me. And he is crewing us. He has popped up in races, usually on 100-mile races or long races, where I believe I was hallucinating in the past. I don't even know if James is real, but you know,
No, he's
I'm
real.
assuming
He's
he's
real.
real.
Not
You've
to
seen him,
jinx
haven't you,
it.
Andrew?
Not to jinx it, but James has turned up at every time you have DNF'd, Colin. So there's not a single time where James has turned up and actually seen you or me complete something. So, debatable choice for a crewman, but with faith that this is going to be third time lucky, very different. But James is an absolute gent of a guy, and we've only met him a handful of times, Colin, which is just
He listens
an amazing
to
thing.
the show. He listens to the
Big-
show, Andrew.
Big friend of the show. Big friend of the show.
Big friend of the show. And our next crewman, who's picking up from James, is a guy who, I don't know why we pick these crewmen, but he's the youngest ever person to run Mizenhead, Andrew.
Yep. So if one of us can't do it, we'll tag them in. Is that the idea there?
I think so. So he knows the route, he knows everything. But so Ross's background is, we were doing the NI 100 and I found Ross. And I said, Ross, what are you doing? He goes, Colin, I didn't bring a GPS. I thought I'd know the route. 100 miles, 100 miles. He thought he'd know 100 miles. And he goes, I'm not quite sure where I'm going. Can I tag along with you? I was like, yeah, if you can keep up with me. And no, he did. He's very fast. So our crewman who turns up to a 100-mile race with no GPS, that is our crewman number 3. Ross is fantastic. He has done the Marathon des Sables. He's the youngest to run Miz and the Malin. Him and his mate, Jake. And fantastic guy, great crack, all up for it. And then finally, he passes over to Andrew, your mate, Jeff, Jeff, DNF Jeff.
Our mate, if we're being technical about it, Colin. But so Jeff
technically DNF Jeff.
Well, he crewed us on the Famine Way last year, which we did DNF. And I remember he held up a sign at one of the times we passed him. You're not getting in the car until you hit Dublin. Well, joke wasn't him. 5 hours later, we were in that car going home.
So that's our choice. That's our choice of crewmen. Matt, are you behind our awesome choice of crewmen?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you, right, to the crew in advance, because whether I'm behind it or not, like they've already agreed to being behind us. And if you haven't been stuck with me for any period of time, you really don't know what you're committing to. Like, they at least kind of know you guys, and it's going to be an adventure, right? So for anybody to say like, yeah, that sounds like something I want to be a part of, to me, that's super exciting. I'm like, okay, these guys are already clearly really cool, and I want to get to know the type of person that says, yeah, sign me up for that. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, for anyone to take days off work, away from family, multiple days, it's just amazing. It's an amazing thing. It shows you the character of these people, it's really touching.
And Nick, you've had experience with crew, with all different types of crew, with all different types of aid stations, whether it be UTMB or the Pennine Way across England, all the long distance. Did you do the Pennine Way or something? Lakeland?
Lakeland Hundreds, yeah, but also multi-day stuff and things like that. And I would say that a crew can make or break the situation. I'm not sure if that's going to help then in this particular instance, but yeah, crew absolutely vital to this. And again, going back to the question you asked me about what I thought about this, I was thinking, who in their right mind is going to be crewing these guys? As Andrew said, taking time off work, away from family. It's a huge commitment for not really any particular sort of gain for themselves, is it? It's not like, they're on a £50 an hour retainer or something. No, this is just out of the pure goodness of their heart. And this does show you that, as you said, the character of the kind of people that are involved in ultra running, the kind of people that want to see crazy guys succeed in a crazy event. And people have just come out of the woodwork. I think these guys are going to be brilliant, because they already sort of understand what is required. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. I really do. So yeah, crew is vital. And well, I think they're going to play as big a part in this as anything else, really.
I think so, Nick. I call them the three amigos, even though there's 4 of them. But the sentiment's there. The sentiment's there. And speaking of a quick tangent here, and then we'll go back to it. But we're going to give the crew. Colin, are you still there? You've went all blurry on me. Have we lost Colin?
Oh my word, that's never happened before.
Yeah.
This is. I'm actually a wee bit excited about this. Actually, this is good.
Say everything you want to say, Andrew. Now it's
He's coming in. He's
spoke too soon.
Before I started this, there was a StreamYard.
StreamYard what?
Yeah, StreamYard what?
The suspense is killing me. Here we go. This is the jeopardy that we needed in this episode. He's back.
He's back. It's way!
There he goes.
There he goes.
Classic Zoom days from COVID.
We've got the circle of death now.
You're back,
It's like a really old school animation. 4 frames a second,
Well, we really missed you. We were thinking to end the podcast.
Is it just me?
Just you.
Just you. All of us were good.
Right.
So I was just about to say this would be a good time to talk about merch because the crewmen don't know this yet, Colin and Matt and Nick. We are giving them merch, Colin, aren't we? They're gonna be dressed with an Idiots Go Running hat. If you're watching it, you'll see me and Colin modeling it. An Idiots Go Running hoodie and a t-shirt. And Colin, why can we get these guys merch? This is shameless plug now, guys. This is a shameless plug. Yeah. Or how? Oh, nice. Next wearing merch, but they're not getting that merch, just so you know. Although it's
Same
nice colour.
supplier, quite clearly.
It is the same supplier. It's the same. It's the same
They're
hat.
really good hats.
So
They're
I
brilliant
recognise the
hats.
little.
it is all right. Yeah, it is. Nick has got the same. Matt's feeling left out. Matt, we will supply you with merch too when you get here. Shipping fees are 2 tiers to the States. But
Also
Colin, we
available
do have a shop now, an Idiots Go Running shop. We've had it for a while. We haven't really talked about it, but we're going to talk about it now and give it a bit of a plug now. So what can you get on our shop and where do all the proceeds go?
Right. So on our shop, you can get hats, you can get caps, you can get woolly hats, you can get t-shirts, you can get hoodies, like the one I'm wearing, the burger one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you go to I'm with the idiot. So if you go to our msrunsireland.com page, you'll see the shop there, and you can go in and you can go into the shop and you can pick it up from Belfast or you can get it delivered to yourself. And every piece of item is made, independently by itself. And yeah, that's pretty much it, Andrew.
And the proceeds, Colin, where's the proceeds go to because we're able to get this merch, we're able to get these hoodies and t-shirts and hats. And because of that, we've got everything's not dear on the shop and all proceeds go to where, Colin?
So the company, the workwear company, have done everything at cost price for me for this event, and all the proceeds go directly into my pocket to pay for a holiday after the event. Only joking. All proceeds go towards our run. So whether it be funding our run or whether it be going into the donation pot to whatever's left. I think wherever needs it most. And like this run is not cheap. 11 hotels over this period of time. I want to be able
11
to
hotels. You just said you got them all for free. Don't be getting the violin out now saying about hotels when you can have them free, Colin.
I didn't say I got them all for free. If you listen back to the episode, Andrew, said I got some for half price. I had got some free rooms. I got this. I got that.
Fuel's dear. Thanks, Matt. No. Nothing to do with Matt. Nothing to do with Matt.
No, then.
Nothing to do with Matt.
This is not a political
confrontational.
Look, I cannot respond. I claim zero responsibility for anything related to fuel.
Oh my goodness! No, that's
Andrew, how are we going to deal with you for 11 days?
I don't know. That's not my problem. How you have to deal with me is not my problem, Colin. That is your problem. Colin, we've got a great testimonial about our hoodie. Somebody received our hoodie and they on Saturday they messaged you and just were ranting and raving about how good a quality it is. And I'm not taking the mic. It is actually very good quality, isn't it?
Yeah, he loved it. He's going on to order more, Andrew. He ordered it for his other half. He ordered them for himself. He got exactly the same hat. You're going to see these hats everywhere now because I've got one. Andrew's got one. Our oldest brother, who's the guy who thought the stuff was great.
Yeah, he gave us it. So the testimonial was from our older brother, but if you know him, like that's a big thing for him to text you to say these are great. So I just wanted to plug the shop there because all proceeds go towards the run and towards MS. And maybe you should just talk about the donation page and what it's going towards because, again, we haven't talked too much about it. This is a big adventure for us three and the crewmen and our families. And it's an adventure of a lifetime, I like to call it. But we're not just doing it for 11 days crack. It'll be good fun, it'll be good banter. But why we're doing it, that's only part of the reason, but it's not the main reason. It's not the heart behind the whole project. Who wants to take that one?
I'll jump in. So yeah, I mean, we've talked a little bit about how, this is also very much about raising awareness and raising money for MS causes. So if this is the first time you're listening to an Idiots Go Running episode, both myself and Colin have multiple sclerosis, and we have a very different experience with it. Both of us do, as it is very different for most people that live with the disease. And so a big motivation for us is to raise awareness around what living with MS looks like. And Colin and I both happen to be quite fortunate that we're able to do a lot of things that many people who also live with MS would love to be able to say that they could do also. There are people with varying levels of ability or impact based on the disease. And so we believe that not everyone really understands the disease. Heck, a lot of people in the neurological community don't even understand everything about living with it. They might, understand what it looks like, let's say, but, how it impacts people, their families, their loved ones. And, for me personally, I've been very much motivated to try and prove to myself, to my family, to other people that I know, especially those that are impacted by MS, that we're capable of incredible things. It's one of the mantras that I live by. And so tackling something like this is something that, if I'm being honest, I never would have even imagined doing. Even, heck, before I was diagnosed with MS and even after, I never even thought I would run a marathon, let alone an ultra marathon, let alone this, which is 11 days in a row of ultra marathons. So we just want to show people that there's hope, that, if you are dealing with a chronic illness, that there is so much you still can do, even though it may look different than what you had imagined. And so we're hoping to inspire people along the way. And along with that, raise money for Multiple Sclerosis Ireland, the MS Society of Northern Ireland, and MS Run the US, which is a charity that I'm very closely involved with here in the US. All three of those provide support for people that are living with MS. Not only that, but they fund research for multiple sclerosis because there's not currently a cure. So the treatment that both Colin and I are on, and virtually every treatment that is available today, the goal is to stop the progression of the disease. But once you have it, there's not currently a way to guarantee that you're reversing the damage that's been done to the nervous system. So that's another big part of this run for us, is raising awareness, inspiration, and raising money for those three charity organizations.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you, Matt. No, that's so well explained. I as part of it also was, I did say to Andrew that this run isn't cheap. It is for 4 guys for 11 nights, and everything does tend to get very expensive. Now, at the start of the year, we were looking for sponsors to come on board, and we've been very lucky to have Used Cars NI have helped us with a donation towards our event. Alter Nutrition for fuel across the event as well. Protein Rebel, who give us Protein Rebel gels. Anyone missing? Main Energy Drinks, which are energy drinks across the way. They've been heavily involved and would like to be more involved. Bailey's Coffee, who you might be now seeing on their socials some more content of us. And then at the start of the year, there's a charity called Give As You Live, and they do a grant for good. So they do this grant that if anybody is looking or doing something incredible, and I thought, why not? I'm going to put my name forward. So I put my name forward, and I didn't think anything of it, and I got a phone call. So thank you so much to Grant for Good that they have basically given us a grant that covers our crewmen. So it helps our crewmen have fuel, food, and accommodation every night. So stuff like that. Like this whole event, this run, it sounds like us three guys are running this, and we're running the length of Ireland. But honestly, we couldn't do it without the support, the people coming out. There's people coming out to run with us. The likes of Nick, who's coming on and giving us coaching tips. Like you just don't do these things alone. As much as people go, as a brilliant them three guys run the length of Ireland, we if it wasn't for everybody else around us, we couldn't do this. And there was an extra thing that Matt threw into the mix earlier on at the start of the year that he told me about. Matt, what was that?
I assume you're talking about this Guinness World Record. Is that it?
Yeah, that wee thing. So when the run couldn't get more complicated, Matt decided to throw on something that you have to document your run, track your run, send away stuff to prove that you have MS, everything. So, like, as this run couldn't get more complicated, we're doing an ultra every day. We've got people come out to run with us, and Matt throws on the Guinness World Record. I just, so that is, have I missed anything, Andrew? Is there anything I've missed about the organisation of it, apart from...
No, I don't think so. Just big thanks to you. I know we've said it, but like, you spend multiple hours a day on this stuff. I have no idea what you're going to do with your time when this run is over. There's going to be a void in your life so deep it'll be bigger than the Grand Canyon, and I hope you fill it somehow. But it's such a big undertaking. It's such a big adventure. You're so right. There's been so much support from friends, from family, from people. The messages, the closer I get to it, the more I think I realize the impact we're having for other people with MS, who've been diagnosed with MS, been living with MS, and just the encouragement. And I'm a bit, obviously don't have MS, you guys do, and just to be able to run with you guys and, I'm about to say help you, you will help me more than that. I help you, I'm sure. But, I think we're going to touch so many people's lives because we're already seeing that. And that's just, it's a bigger thing now to me than it maybe was at the first when I said, yeah, I'm all in and all that caper. Just the amount that we're touching people's lives is brilliant, and just the amount of support we're getting is just it's just crazy, So it's brilliant. It really is very touching.
And Nick, have you got anything to add? You've been quiet for a while. Throw something into the mix.
No, I've just been listening really because I am just in awe of this whole process and just hearing the stories behind it, the background, the impact that you're having, it just to be part of it. I mean, I feel like a slight imposter because I'm on here, but I'm not actually running the thing. Whereas you all are. But yeah, I'm as inspired as other people really. And I can't wait for it to all get started. And I am I just can't wait to follow this journey. I think it's going to be incredible. And the stories that are going to come out of it, I just know are going to be epic, because the stories that come out of one ultramarathon from Idiots Go Running can feed an entire season of a podcast.
Oh, we'll milk it. Right? We'll milk it, Nick.
Yeah, imagine. We're going to be here for the next 10 years. We would episode 1,000. It'll be like day 9.
Andrew's still missing, but we don't care.
We do, because you'll be doing the Guinness World Record. You'll be taking notes about where we're running, where we're stopping. So we will need you around, Andrew, by default. Not that we'll want you around. I think you've made yourself an important part of the... Matt's made you an important part of the team.
Thank you, Matt, for that. And thank you, Nick, for all you do. Your tips, invaluable, and the ultras we've done. And just having you here, you're a steady hand to these three guys, which is well needed. It was just a joy to have you in the podcast with all your wealth of experience and knowledge,
Oh, that's I just love being part of it all. So, yeah, it's just it's an adventure just in the podcast. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Can I ask one thing? I'm going to do a little plug here. Now, I might have plugged my own running coaching, but I don't normally do a plug. However,
is this your jumper? Is this your jumper, Nick?
This is the jumper.
We've plugged a lot, Nick. We've plugged a lot. This is the episode of plugging.
Yeah, no, you can ignore the red bit, but this is a hoodie that was presented to me by the Northern Ireland Ultra Running Association. So, NIURA, NIURA, is an association that has really been in the background for a few years. It's been maybe got a bit neglected through COVID, but now we are going for a relaunch. Apparently, they've got a new social media manager.
I hear he's good.
Well,
Nick.
unproven, I think, is probably the word I would use. So yeah, and the idea is, and this is pretty relevant to this podcast because this is a monster ultra marathon, and really the association is just going to try and get behind every ultra marathon in Northern Ireland, on the island of Ireland, and promote it and try and just put Ireland on the map when it comes to the ultra running scene. So obviously we're based in Northern Ireland right now, and that hence the NIURA logo and tag, but it really is trying to encompass the whole of the island. So there is also a new website, and
It's a good website. Whoever designed it, slick. It wasn't me. That sounds like it was me. It was Nick. Sorry, just in case people thinking he's bigging himself up. Didn't touch it.
No, I'm looking for employment now as a web designer, Andrew. So if you know anybody, no. Anyway, so anybody who's interested in looking at races in Northern Ireland, ultra running races, go to niultrarunning.com, and I am building the database. There's quite a lot of races on there already. Some of them I never knew existed. I'm having to sort of pull in information from all sorts of places. And there's some really, really awesome events on that are, 50 miles, or we've got some 24-hour racing going on. So we are trying to put Northern Ireland's ultra running scene on the map. So niultrarunning.com, that's where you want to go.
Subtle. That was subtle.
Right, brilliant. Joking aside, it is a great website, and I was on it, and some of the races never heard of, never knew existed. So you're 100%, Nick, and it's well worth it to check out.
So yeah, I'm hoping it'll just be a nice resource for everyone to use, and maybe drag a few people across from, who knows, the US or mainland Europe, whatever, just to get involved and do some of the races that are really showcasing what Ireland and Northern Ireland has to offer. So
brilliant. I think
Absolutely brilliant.
I think a 1 minute update of how the training's going for everyone. So just a minute, Matt, take us away before we end this. I think
I am upping my mileage finally. I last week felt almost zero pain, so for the first time in over a month I actually ran 3 consecutive days. So that's a big deal. Still nowhere where I want to be in terms of mileage overall. But yeah, last week did over 30 miles, which, yeah, that's one day for us. But very optimistic, fitness wise. I still feel like where I was when I got injured. So just relying that my base is there, and just ramping up as quickly but safely as possible.
Nice. 4 seconds to spare. Colin, over to you.
Over to me. So
that's enough. Andrew, next.
That's enough. You've talked enough.
I've talked enough. Fine, I quit. So me. What am I doing? Finished my training for Belfast Marathon. Thank you, Nick.
How'd that go well?
Went okay. And now I'm kind of just running. I've been in the mornings a few times. I'm actually now training myself how to record and run at the same time. So instead of training my body for running, which is probably a bad idea, I feel like the training that I've gained up until now has been pretty good. So I'm now working on hills, but I'm working on my videography skills at the same time. So yeah, it's idiot school running. Like you have to train everything. Nick taught me that. Nick taught me you've got to train the way you run. So we're going to be running. I'm carrying my bag in every run because I'll have a flag, and I'm bringing a camera with me, and I'm working and recording on the run because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm training to be a running videographer.
Here you do quite a bit, Colin. Fair play to you.
And also, Matt, there's word around the block that we could be getting good compression and recovery gear through the door. So that is nearly across the line. So in the evenings, any injuries, anything, we have a full recovery suite nearly. But that's another thing I'm working on in the background. Andrew?
A few weeks ago, I picked up a groin injury. Now, I don't pick up many injuries, and I was a wee bit kind of like, whoa.
I wonder why that is.
And, this is well. Tell us, coach. Coach us, coach. Bird. That deep. Why do you think it was, Dick?
Well, why do I think it was that you got one? Well, this is just what happens when you start running.
Who knew? Who knew? I think that's what happened. I've started running, and now you get injuries. If you have rest days and don't run, you get no injuries. So what's that tell you? So what I have started doing because of that is I stretch half an hour every day now, and it has made a world of difference. Still do a bit of running and all that, caper, but I stretch more or less every day for half an hour, even on a run day. And I think that has been game changing for me, and I think that'll help in a big way. So the reverse taper, we're approaching the peak, if you like, maybe about 3 weeks, and then I'll taper down the traditional taper as you wish. So we're still tapering up at the minute, and that's me.
I'm just gonna say what I love about Andrew is that, you know, like when you're trying to tell your kids something, and you know what the answer to these things are, right? And you try telling your kids that, and they are like, who is this alien talking to me? Haven't got a clue what he's on about, totally ignore you, because you're their dad. And they're like, no, he doesn't know a thing. And then 4 months later, suddenly that thing that you've been talking about doing, they've suddenly realized that actually it's quite sensible to do that. So Andrew could have, well, I don't know, he could have like listened or asked, or I don't know, but no, he has done the critical thing, which is learning by himself, and now he knows, and it'll stick in there forever, because you can ask as many people as you like and they can tell you as much as they like, but nothing beats learning by your own issues. And this is like a segue back to Colin, and you know, nobody learns anything from winning. You only learn by your mistakes. So Andrew, brilliant. Like, who knew? Bit of stretching, bit of strength and conditioning, and some running, and whoa, you'll be a runner.
Wow. I'll be a runner. You're a runner, Harry.
Do you know what? Right, me and Andrew. So we were playing FIFA the other night. Right, you're probably wondering, where is this going?
FC25. It's not legally called FIFA now, but continue.
Oh, FC25. Now, the kids were out playing. I might have stayed. Andrew's too late than I should have. But Andrew, you got a complete whopping. Like, there was one game at E32. There was the last game, it was like you were 3-0 up and I came back to 3-3. And he still manages to praise himself. It's all Andrew's brilliant. It's a good idea. This was Andrew's idea. So, Nick, no matter what you tell Andrew will believe that he thought about this, believe he invented running, believe he invented training and stretching, and he honestly believes that I've figured this out myself. No one said anything to me. It's like he's deaf, and the world revolves around Andrew.
Can I respond to this, please?
You're shaking your head.
I'm shaking. Can I respond to this?
Go for it.
See, if it wasn't for me saying this run isn't a man in 2026, none of us would be here, Colin. Okay, so if it wasn't me, this wouldn't be happening. So I'm just going to mic drop moment there.
My wife might have something to say about that.
I feel like this argument could rage, Matt, after we've long gone. So we'll leave them to it.
Okay. So my name's Colin.
My name's Andrew.
My name's Matt.
My name's Nick.
And this is
Idiots Go
Running.
If you beg them, they will come. Somehow this has turned into an actual event. Are they still idiots? Absolutely. They're just better organized idiots now. Merch-branded idiots. Idiots with crewmen. You can take the egg out of the hen, but you can't take the hen out of the egg. Until next time, this is Idiots Go Running.